Hi, hey. This is United for you, man. Right when you think everything is cruising and going well, and we're just back, and every game is going to be a win, especially at Old Trafford, you get a performance like today. Everyone, welcome back to United State of Mind. My name is Lies. To my right is my co-host, Culture Cams, and we're going to be talking about today's game, amongst other things. But obviously, before we do all that, make sure you guys leave a like, make sure you guys subscribe, turn notifications on, share this with all your friends because we know Twitter is down right now. There's no way for you guys to see our tweets. So share this with all of your friends through WhatsApp, Instagram, all that good stuff. Before we get too much into the game, though, Cam, talk to me. How you feeling right now?
Frustrated because that wasn't one of them ones where it was like we got outplayed or anything. You had the opportunity to win the game, and I feel like from the off, Man United were just not with it, and that's the reason. Because of that, it was self-inflicted in my opinion. So we'll get into all of it, but yeah, frustrated, man. That's definitely 2 points dropped. I don't care about no comeback, none of that. That's 2 points dropped, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Big time. So gotta hold that.
No, 100%. There's a lot of things to tackle about this game, I feel. For starters, the starting 11, I'm of the opinion that it wasn't the right team to go for. But that happens for me. Like choosing the wrong team is part of the job. For me, though, I looked at the first half and how it went, Cam. And within 5 minutes, you could tell they played. I mean, forget about 5 minutes. Within the first minute when they scored the goal, you could tell United played into Leeds' hand. Leeds know how to play one way chaos ball. It's frenetic, it's frantic, it's energetic. There's not much finesse to it, there's not much technique involved in it, but it's just 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, go
on. So when you come up against a team like that, what should you do as a football team? Play the game at your own tempo, slow it down, calm down. United, they go out there, and I think you look today, this is where you see United misses Casemiro more than anyone else. Because I like Sabitzer as a player. I like Fred on his day as a player. Together, in a midfield too, for me was kamikaze in my opinion. And I know that's all really Ten Hag had at his disposal, but I don't think those two can play together in a midfield without Casemiro in behind them. That's my belief right here. And within a minute, Gnotto basically punishes Man United, and you were just thinking, when are United just going to slow the game down, bring it back to their tempo, calm things down, and just take control of this game? Because Leeds are not that good of a team. They were sitting 17th before today. There's a reason for that. And nah, man, it just the whole first half was just ping pong. It felt like just back and forth. It felt like a basketball game. The second half comes along. You think, okay, at halftime, the way they finished this, the first half wasn't terrible. Okay, maybe at halftime, Ten Hag manages to relax the guys and send them out. And again, they just take control of the game. Within the first 5 minutes of the second half, 2-0 leads, and it's the same story. It's just frenetic, man. It's just chaos ball. That's not what has made United successful this year. And we'll talk about the substitutions as well, but I think Sancho, just to briefly talk about it, had a great cameo in my opinion. I think he helped change the game. I think Pellistri gave some much needed width and allowed Rashford to move more to the left. And United got back into the game, guys. They got a draw. So it's not all doom and gloom. It could have been a lot worse today. But when you look at the opportunity that they had today, when you look at all those teams dropping points at the weekend, this is a really disappointing result for me. And it's an even worse performance in my opinion. Bar maybe the last 20, 25 minutes in the second half, this for me is a really, really poor performance from United. Like as bad as we've seen for me since the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I feel like listen, it's not one of them ones where you gotta cry and you know what I mean, it's a draw, whatever. You know what I mean? It's always the manner. It's always the manner that I don't like. And I didn't like the manner of today's result. I didn't like the way it came about. And that's from the start. That's from the start. First and foremost, listen, love the guy, love the manager. But for me, today is on Eric Ten Hag, bro. The fact we wasted 45 minutes of a football match. Do you know what I mean? Starting Rashford on the right hand side. Listen, you have your best attacker at the moment in the form of his life. I think he just got his 20th goal of the season, and you're moving him on the right to accommodate for an 18-year-old kid who his best appearances for me at the moment is still coming off the bench and making an impact. So I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Every time we move Rashford to the right to start the game, he doesn't perform. We've seen it numerous times. Like, okay, Rashford maybe in the middle of a match, he can go on the right and maybe do something. But to start the game, it's never been ideal. You can't. Leeds would have seen Rashford on the right hand side and said, "Yes, this is good." You know what I mean? You're not playing him in his strongest position. Secondly, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Weghorst should not be playing for Manchester United. And I told you this, Liez.
Yeah.
I told you this, and everyone said I'm going too far. You're being harsh. Wait in 6 weeks or 4 weeks, you're going to be changing your tune. He's one of the worst players I've seen play for Man United ever. And I'm not even trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to, but he genuinely is one of the worst players I've seen play for Man United. And that's just the reality. What did I say? You sign average, you're going to get average. He's not good. Again, we improved when he came off the pitch. Again, that happened the other day. He came off, we improved. People are talking about why don't you cross the ball for he gets no service. He's not good. Rashford went 9 for 5 minutes and scored a header. He's not good. It's as simple as that. So for me, it's just not a good performance all round. But Eric Ten Hag got it wrong. He got it wrong. He got the lineup wrong. And at the end of the day, this is the reality. And this is why I said when you sign players like that, Martial's not going to be reliable in terms of fitness. You're going to be seeing a lot of Weghorst, and this is what we're going to get. But Ten Hag needs to realize quickly, keep that guy on the bench. Put Rashford 9. If you want to start Garnacho, then start Sancho. If you want to make that your front three, make that your front three. But this Weghorst experiment is come, and it needs to end real quick. And look, Ten Hag wasted 45 minutes, in my opinion, of the game, because then he changed it when we went 2-0 down, and then everything started improving. But listen, I've seen Man United do this under every single manager we've had. I'm not going to sit here and start saying Ten Hag masterclass. I've seen us do this under Jose, Oli. I've seen every time we go down, United put up a fight and we get a result. Nothing to be excited about. Bruno opener was poor, and it just a lot of listen, to be fair, we did have chances. Garnacho should have scored a few chances. Bruno had a chance. What's my man's name? Varane had a good header. But all round, that waste of that first half came to cost us, man. It came to cost us, bro. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's frustrating, but this is why I say we ain't ready. We ain't ready for any serious conversations about anything. We're not ready. We're not ready today just shows it. Of course, we had injuries, but that's what you need your squad for. And our squad's not good enough to be reliable. So this is what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't about like, oh, did you think United had a title charge? Like I'm seeing 4-day title charges like in the comments. That's not what this is about, guys. Like me and Cam have been on the record numerous times. Our objective for this season is top 4 in a trophy. And regardless of today's result, they're still on track to do that. So I know there's rival fans in the comments just bantering, but nah, this ain't what it's about. I'm of the belief with Cam that the performance and what we see out there is just as important for me as the 3 points. Because at least if I see a performance, I'm okay, we can build off of that, or it just didn't go our way, or better play. Like today is honestly one of those days, and it hasn't happened often this year, that I'm looking at Ten Hag and saying, yo, especially the way the team came out in the second half. And on the subject of Garnacho, like, look, Weghorst, I'm with you, bro. Quite clearly, he is not of the caliber of Man United, bro. And this is numerous times now where he's coming off and Rashford is playing up front. And I'm of the belief that Rashford is not even a great center forward, in my opinion. But immediately, the performances and the way we're playing is improving. That has to tell you something. And on the subject of Garnacho, look, I agree with you. The kid is 18 or 19 years old. For him to be even making impacts at all in games for Man United is huge. Is something that I don't think anyone would have expected at the beginning of the season. This guy was playing academy ball 12 months ago. But the reality is as well that unless you're some supreme talent like Kylian Mbappe or even Rashford when he was 18 years old, or Ousmane Dembele or Bellingham, like these players needed to be eased in, and they're good for the odd cameo here and there. Hell, they might even be good for a start in the cups, but relying on them the way United has relied on Garnacho game after game after game this season, you're going to get performances like today. I thought today he really showed his age, but where I look at Ten Hag, we've seen at left center back, he has a pecking order. It's Lissandro, and then it's Luke Shaw. And Maguire and Lindelof, if he wants to bring him into the team, they play on the right. Rashford, that side should be his. Rashford should not be being moved to the right for Garnacho. If you need someone on the right, which I understand he needed because Antony was out, you have Facundo Pellistri, you have Jadon Sancho, who I understand was ill over the weekend. You could even play Garnacho out on the right. Marcus Rashford, who has literally carried this attack off the left, should in no universe be playing on the right for an 18-year-old. So that for me was baffling. And look, man, I'm upset today, honestly. Not about the result, like I said, but just the way that first 65 minutes went, or that first 50 minutes went. And then the minute they got into it, it looked so easy for them. Why couldn't they have played like that the whole game? But it's like you said, they're just not ready. A team that's ready plays like that 90 minutes every single game of the
Bro,
season.
how can a team that's starting with an 18-year-old decent player, Garnacho is a good, exciting. He's a good player. He's a decent player, and then you've got Veghorst up top. You got Rashford up top. That's not a strong enough front three. And then you
No,
got the midfield, Sabitzer, Fred, Bruno. That's not a strong enough midfield. The defense, okay, that's probably going to be Man United's defense for a little while. But the midfield again, too reliant. This is why you need somebody that can fill into these number 6 positions. And this is why I was so livid when Casemiro went and got that red card. And I was saying this is could be costly, because you know the importance of how he affects when he plays with Fred, how he affects when whoever he's next to, his performance levels raises. And you see Fred today without what's my man's name, without Casemiro, and it's a completely different guy. He goes back to what we used to see. He goes back to that player that we used to see, where you're just mad disappointed. You're like, oh, bro, he's doing this, doing that, doing this, getting on the ball, doing nothing with it. That's what happens when you miss a player like this. But overall, Leeds again, bro. Leeds again on Sunday, and this time it's going to be away from home. It's going to be hotter. It's going to be harder. This is a rivalry. These guys are up for it. So it wasn't a good one, man. It wasn't a good one. But listen, the objective stays the same. Nothing really changes in terms of what Man United need to do. It's the fans that are obviously dreaming of a title or a title charge. And this guy said, I thought objectives change. Man United have never been within 8 points of the title. So I don't get why I don't get all this
by the way,
conversation.
objectives have changed. We started the season. Every single person in this chat expected United to be 6th or 7th. The objectives changed. We saw the players they brought and how quickly Ten Hag improved them. Then the objective changed from 6th, 7th to, okay, make the top 4, win a trophy. So they have changed. Now all of a sudden, and again, I get, look, it's an Arsenal fan. You guys are the ones who really want us to put ourselves in these conversations so that when we crash down, we can kind of take the brunt for it. But we know where we're at, bro. We know where we're at. We're comfortable where we're at.
This is what I'm saying. So listen, everything really stays the same in terms of what Man United are doing. But again, it's just the manner. It's annoying because you could have won that one easily. You could have won that one easily. Man United have made Old Trafford a fortress this season. You should be wiping Leeds out of here. Do you know what I mean? So that's the big disappointment out of today. But as I said, nothing's really changed in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? You're still doing the same thing. You just got to now go and beat Leeds away, because you don't want Spurs or Newcastle and these teams to start sniffing around. So you got to go and beat thingy Leeds away.
Nah, of course. We got a few super chats here. Part of our just waffling with the super chat says part of our inconsistency is that Ten Hag has to rotate. What are your separate opinions on how he manages legs for a top 4 run in? Our goal difference is only +8.
Today had nothing to do with legs. It's just the easy excuse. Any points that Man United drop now is legs. Today had nothing to do with legs. Today had to do with a poor lineup and just coming out not ready. Do you know what I mean? So this is the thing. This is why I don't like this. That when these type of runs come, people are just gonna say legs, 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 legs. Today didn't have anything to do with legs. Nothing to do with legs, because the intensity was high and we were up for that intensity. Just didn't perform well. The lineup was wrong. Simple as that.
I agree. I'm with you 100%. Today, like, there's no player. Maybe Dallo is the only one that looked leggy at times because he's coming back from a long-term injury. But the rest of them, bro, that's the only one for me that maybe looked off the pace. The rest of them, if anything, were just playing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's my issue here. It's not that they were off the pace. It's just that they couldn't calm themselves down and slow down the tempo of the game. That's my biggest issue today. Ash goes, if this was Ollie, they'd call it Rashford hero ball. Don't joke with that one. Now, what do you think about the Rashford goal, though? Bro, he's adding facets to his game that I've never seen before from him.
Excellent, bro. Excellent. The way he's developing. I've been a fan of Rashford in the 9, always. The way he's developing, it's just good to see, man. Yeah, I mean, I never thought he was going to start scoring bare headers. Well, he's trying to add that to his game, and fair enough. I want to see him start away at Leeds at the 9. I do not want to see Weghorst again, because I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be bad man, but we've got one win with Weghorst starting, and that one was when he came off.
That's crazy.
So I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to say too much there, bro.
Ash also says when is De Gea getting summoned to Good Dude University, bro? De Gea is a 5th-year senior at Good Dude University, bro. He been there. He been there, bro. He's on a full ride, full scholarship. He's playing for the football team, bro. He's a 5th-year senior, bro. He's a red shirt.
He's been this guy's he's been held back. He's been held back. He is.
Oh my days, man. Yo, even De Gea too, right? Like the first goal is, anyways. I'm a believer that every single goal, there's never only one mistake in it. It's always a series of mistakes. But as poor defending as that was, period, De Gea is near post again, bro. This is just like the story of this guy's life for the last 4 years. A million miles off his line, beat at the near post from far out. Frustrating, bro. Absolutely frustrating. Dennis the Great, question to Lias and Cams. Are you guys relying on Rashford too heavily to get results in games? Absolutely. Absolutely. Bro. This guy doesn't score or assist in a game. I don't know where the goal is coming from. Thankfully, and we're going to talk about Sancho in particular after I answer a few more of these questions. Sancho now maybe can come in and provide 5 more goal contributions, 10 more goal contributions from now until the end of the season, because we badly need it, bro. If Rashford is not scoring or assisting, I'm scared for the result of that game.
I can't believe it's come to people talking about Weghorst don't get service. Oh man, what has my club become, fam? Yo, what has my club become, fam? Oh Lord. I agree. We rely too much on Rashford. At the moment, our attack is too inconsistent. But hopefully we can get something going.
No, I agree. Ash also says United must win the Carabao. Easy draw, no excuses. I mean, we're in the final, bro. And this easy draw thing, right? You look at the teams that were eliminated from there. It's not like Arsenal weren't in the cup to begin with. It's not like City weren't in the cup to begin with. I just got eliminated early, man. Brighton beat Arsenal. Brighton lost to, I think, Charlton. Charlton lost to United. That's how we got there. So I ain't trying to hear all of that. Spurs only 4 points behind United. That's close. Yeah, but guys, this is the top 4 race, right? Like teams are going to drop points. Teams are going to cover points on other teams. This happens. So we're in February. There's still 3 months left of the season. So
you know why they're in that race? Because they have Harry Kane. They have a world-class striker. And you look at the strikers that we're putting out there. And we're wondering why we got +8 goal difference, bro.
No, 100%. This team, for me, it's hard to think of another team in the league that's as badly missing a top 9 as Man United is, bro. I mean, like, we keep talking about Martial, right? It's actually insane that even a player like Martial, who for me is average to okay, the difference he makes in this team. So you just imagine if they add a top number 9 to them, bro. Like, it's killing us at this point. Absolutely killing us that Rashford at this moment is the best striker option we have. And then final question before we kind of talk about individual cameos. Rick says, Lias, any prop for Anthony, though? We miss his impact on our build-up. Can't lie, even without end product. Look, I don't disagree, to be honest with you. And I've always heard not the criticism, but like the feedback that it's like having a natural left footer who basically hugs the touchline the way he does helps us in the way that we possess the ball, because it naturally impacts other teams' defenses. They have to keep an eye out for them, and it gives us more space in the midfield. So I completely understand. And I think you even saw that when you put a natural right winger in Pellistri, we looked a little better. But also that Anthony being praised for Anthony just also shows that we have no one else at that position. So I'm not going to give him too much praise for that. Okay, like he's the only left-footed right winger we have. Fair, good for him.
Anthony's good in the first. Anthony's good in the first 2 phases. It's about when he gets to the final third, he doesn't have that to take on. He doesn't beat a player. He doesn't create chances. In the first 2/3, he's good on the ball. He can retain the ball. But so I understand what they're saying there. But then, as soon as you say Anthony's missing, then you're going to say, okay, Martial's missing. Then you're going to say
exact example I want to give. Thank you. That's the exact example.
Each player has something to offer that was missed. I get what he's saying, but it shouldn't be enough to put a performance out like that.
Right. Martial, like how much praise can you give him by saying, oh, United are worse without him? Yeah, they're worse without him because you look at who the replacement is for him. It's absolute garbage. So, okay, he brings balance. We didn't pay £100 million for balance. We didn't pay 50 million for Martial for balance. I'm not trying to hear all of that.
So at least you're the Weghorst hype then, yeah?
Yeah. Look, I tried to give you a
no,
I wanted to give a Ten Hag signing a chance, to be honest, right? We both agreed that for the most part, his talent, his transfers have been pretty good. So I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. But for me, You were absolutely right. It was a panic buy, plain and simple, and we've panicked buyed for a player that's clearly not at the level that we're looking for. Let's talk about someone who we've kind of joked about being like a new signing. Obviously isn't, but that's Jadon Sancho. His second cameo off the bench today. I think he probably would have started, but in fact, I think he fell ill over the weekend. Cam, I don't think it'd be ridiculous to say that this might have been Sancho's best cameo of the entire season. I actually saw him positive. I saw him playing incisive passing, that little nice layoff that he's very, very good at, combining very well with Shaw. Took his goal well, albeit with a bit of luck. I was impressed with Sancho today. As someone who, again, the first half of the season, I was pretty critical of his performances. I thought today, okay, we can work with something here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And that's what you need. That's what you need. It was a very good cameo. Got the goal. Happy for him. He needed that. Get that out the way. It's a shame he didn't get to be able to get a goal that he can celebrate. You know what I'm trying to say? Remember, who was it? I think it was Greenwood, that every goal he was scoring, like he never got to celebrate in the beginning, like because we were always down. So it's good that he came on and made an impact. I'm sure for him individually, that's going to give him a world of good, bro. And he looked confident. He went past Luke Ayling. He created a chance for Bruno. He scored. Very good from him, man. Very good. And I'm happy that he's back in, because at the end of the day, we said it a few weeks ago, whether he was good, whether he was bad, United needed those bodies in there. We need somebody. We needed an added input because the front three are not scoring. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The front three are not delivering. So good cameo. Very happy. Very happy with it. But now it's about getting consistency and carrying on. We know Sancho's got quality. You know what I mean? So it's about finding a way to be consistent and impact games regularly. Do you know what I'm saying? So well done, well done to him, and hopefully he can kick on, man, because a lot of games coming, big games, Barcelona, Cup final, Leeds away, Leicester. These are big games for Man United. So gonna need him involved heavily, bro. Heavily.
100%.
Especially because Garnacho is 18, as I said, he's gonna be up and down. Weghorst is not good. And then Anthony, he's still finding his feet. So Sancho, you're pretty much the second most experienced guy we got there, other than Rashford. Martial, you ever gonna come back? Who knows? So we got Rashford and Sancho. Those are our two most experienced attackers at the moment. It's not the best position to be in, but you got to carry yourself through, and it's going to take good coaching to get us through this period. So that's why I'm so disappointed. And of course, you want to be able to rely on certain players consistently. Like that's where you've got the Casemiros and stuff. But coaching is what's going to take us through. And Ten Hag, I think, got today wrong. So yeah, man.
I'm with you 100%, bro. Good for Sancho. Honestly, I was very happy to see his goal. Again, I can't stress it enough. I thought his performance today was finally dynamic, bro. I got off my seat when he got on the ball. So let's hope that he can continue that as well.
Could De Gea have saved that first shot?
I think so. Or at least he could have positioned himself better to not be completely caught off. For me, people were saying, "Oh, there's nothing he could do about it." How about step 3 feet back, and then step 3 feet to the right? That's something you can do about it. I don't understand that one, but if I talk about De Gea, I'll be here all day. Let's talk about the midfield, because it's not about the players that we played today, but I want to ask about two players that we're missing. Casemiro and Eriksen. Again, when you see the tempo and the frenetic pace that the game was being played at, and then you look at the midfielders that we played in Sabitzer, Bruno, and Fred. For me, the key word that connects all three of them is like chaos. Even me, as someone who likes Sabitzer so much, the key words I was using to describe him are bite, energy. Was today really a game where you just needed someone to step on the ball and slow things down and just say, "Hey, we're in control here," a la Casemiro or a la Eriksen? How badly were they missing those two today?
Oh, bro, you're talking about two of our starting three centre midfielders in a team, in a game where I swear this is like McTom's favorite game, Leeds. He turns up versus Leeds. That just shows everything. These are the type of games though that Leeds make you play. Fast, ferocious, and they're gonna be just the same at Ellen Road. So yes, you're gonna need them guys that can get on the ball and calm the game down. But at the moment, we don't have them. And of course, they're big losses. They're two of our starting three midfielders that we've gone the whole season with. So people are talking about just Casemiro, but Eriksen, of course, is a loss in games like these as well. You know, and away games, I'm always like, Eriksen. But home games is when I always think Eriksen plays his best football. So we are missing players. But You gotta get through it, man. You gotta get through it. Stuff like Fred, we talk about him like he's a 19-year-old. How old is Fred?
I think
27, 28,
20, no, I
27.
think 29, bro.
We talk about this guy like he's 18. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna be inconsistent today, and then he's gonna be good that day. He needs to be consistent. Like one day Fred is gonna give you a 0 out of 10, then he's gonna give you a 10 out of 10. He's a very weird player, but that's why I've said to you, when it comes to the new contracts, he can't be one of the people that we be giving him a new contract to. And I know Ten Hag likes him. He has had some good games. He is like one of them ones where you're away against the big six. Fred is in there, he's snapping, blah, blah, blah. But consistent basis, Fred cannot be the guy there, bro. We are literally talking about him like how we should be talking about Garnacho.
Yeah,
Oh,
facts.
yeah, you're going to be inconsistent. You're going to do. He's 29.
Mm.
He's 29 and he's not the experienced one in that midfield who can calm the game down, see what's going on. I know that's not his style of play, but it's ridiculous that we're saying, oh, you know what? If Casemiro's out, floodgates open when you got a player like a 29-year-old in the midfield.
Unlocking
Absolutely
Fred.
mad.
We need to unlock Fred of Casemiro.
6 years in. How long has he been here? 6 years?
2019, so pretty damn. No, not 6 years. 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22, 23. So it's fourth year, I think.
Come on, man.
Something like that. Fourth or fifth year.
4 or 5 seasons. Come on, man. This is what I mean. Too many players that are just hoarding along at Man United. We're hoarding players, bro. 5 seasons of Fred. Wrap that up. Wrap that up.
I tweeted Fred for me is the biggest enigma in sports, man. Like he's so you can't predict him, man. Like you said, at the weekend, I did my stream cam. I was saying Lissandro great. Second player I wanted to talk about was Fred. I thought he was absolutely terrific. 3 days later, you don't even have time to blink. Absolute disaster class, bro. And you
That's
talk
just how
about,
he is.
bro, you talk about, you need a player who can just get on the ball and calm things down. He's a calming influence to his team. Fred is the antithesis of that, bro. He's the complete opposite. Fred gets on the ball and the alarm bells start going off in your head, bro. He spreads chaos. He spreads just, oh my God. And
This is the
today,
thing. This is the thing. I still think today, and this is why when I see players like Onana, Caicedo, Rice, them type of athletic midfielders in the midfield that can have bite, that can win duels, Shaka, these type of players, yeah. That's why I love them type of players, bro. Because you see the way teams just run through you when you don't have that guy in there. And you see it. And this is what happens. Like you see it when those type of players are not in your midfield, you don't have that bite, you don't have that, you're not intimidating to play against. It's way too easy, bro.
but here's
Way
the
too
thing.
easy. And that's why I want it.
Here's the thing, though, right? Like, okay, you can either have those kinds of players in your midfield that just break up play and you can't bully them, and like no one is running through your midfield. I remember the Hassan Hurdle quote that he had about us last year is perfect. But also, okay, the flip side of that is, okay, you have a midfield who controls the game so well that you don't even lose the ball for them to run through your midfield. United had no control of that game today whatsoever. Whatsoever, bro. They basically made it a basketball game between them and Leeds. Back and
But
forth.
you set a precedent though. When in the first minute you're passing it across the back four,
Yeah.
you finally pass it into midfield, and your centre mid in Bruno gets wiped out easily, and they go and score. You set a precedent from there. Do you know what I mean? And it just carried on. So yeah, man, like this is why
I
you
just
need real centre midfielders, in my opinion. And Ten Hag's got a job to do, looking in the window for some midfielders that one are super athletic and two can get on the ball and control games.
yeah.
And that's the way. And look, we're gonna play Barcelona. We're gonna play Barcelona. Don't know what's happened to you. Anyway, we're gonna play Barcelona. Whenever we do next week or in 2 weeks, they're gonna have Pedri. They're gonna have Frankie De Jong. They're gonna have Gavi. They're gonna have players who can bite. They can dribble. They can play. It's going to be a very interesting contrast with Manchester United and Barcelona. But funny enough, I actually think the way Manchester United are set up, we suit playing these type of teams who actually like to get on the ball, because we're better off defending when we get into these, not banks of forward, but where it's more controlled defending. And what did I say to you, Leah? It's like, when we're a little bit deeper, Alessandro, he can clear in his box and all this type of stuff. I feel like that's when these men are at their best at this point. I still don't think we're at our best when you're able to press and all of that type of stuff. I don't think so. So Barcelona, as much as their propositions of Pedri and that are great, I think Pedri's ridiculous. Sometimes it's these type of teams like Leeds and Newcastle and these men that scare me more, because when they come with the athleticism and they're really up for a battle, we be moving washed, bro. We be moving washed.
I hear that, bro. But I just think like today, if they have Casemiro, if United has Casemiro today, they win that game, and that's scary. That's terrifying, bro. It's like we were saying the other day. If United has Casemiro at the Emirates, it's a totally different game. But one player, and as great as Casemiro is, forget about it. One player should not completely flip the fortunes of your team. It shouldn't.
It's what happens though, because it's our most. It's that, as what did you say? The disparity between Casemiro and like a McTom, for example. McTom's not playing, but you said it's a huge
It's the biggest in the
disparity.
league.
And bro, how long have we been wanting a number 6?
How
The
ages?
whole Pogba era, we didn't have a 6, pretty much. Okay, Matic, old Matic for a little sec. After that, and even then, our performances were probably better when he was at the top of his game. So we haven't had a proper 6 for so long. So you can see the impact. He is the one position. This is why I keep saying that he's our most important player. I know you think Lissandro.
No, it's Casemiro. I 100% agree. It's most important. It's Casemiro by far. By far.
There we go. So this is what we've had. We didn't have a 6 for years. Now you got a 6. As soon as he comes out, it's back to square one. Do you know what I mean? It's back to square one. That's why we're gonna need to look into the market, bro.
Boy, man, it's spooky. And I mean, you look at the rest of the midfield, it wasn't too much better, honestly. I think Sabitzer, it was a weird performance today. The first 5 minutes, I thought he looked so all over the place, to be honest with you. Like I was seeing in the weirdest positions. And I think, okay, he managed to get himself into the game the first half. I thought he played a pretty good rest of the first half, in my opinion. Second half, so he comes off. And then Bruno, for me, you talk about enigma. That's another one. That's another one. He creates this brilliant chance for Garnacho, which admittedly Garnacho should score. He has some brilliant passes in his locker, got in some great position second half. But then you see him for the first goal at fault. You see him in his own half, dilly-dallying on the ball, losing it in very crucial positions. So you put those three together, it's a tough day. I don't know what the hell is going on with this lettering. One second.
This guy's leaving me to host the show again. Do you know what? There's some comment there from Lash. Lindelof has 6 kind of moved me. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I saw a couple decent touches from Lindelof in DM, you know. Saw a couple decent ones. Yeah, people, bring the quotes. Bring 10 hard quotes, please.
Let me go through a few super chats as well, too. TVK says, Veghorst was playing with Dele Alli a month ago. Why is he here? And then Koo, the $10 super chat, big up Koo, says, feel like Eric Ten Hag has to go Jose 2014. Pick a best 11 and run it till the wheels fall off. As a fan base, we waffle between one game, but then end of the world, praising players to dig them out the next match. Okay, first of all, let's go through this comment. To be fair, I think Eric Ten Hag has picked a best 11, and when it's fit, he plays them. It's the back four that we've seen for the first half of the season. It's Casemiro, Eriksen, and Fred, and Bruno. Of course, Eriksen is out now, so it's basically between Sabitzer and Fred. And then his front three, when everyone is fit, I would say is Rashford, Martial, and Antony. I think that's his front three. The problem is, you can't rely on half the names I just brought up. Martial plays half the games. Dalot has missed the entire second half of the season so far. In midfield, Eriksen is out for the rest of the year. Casemiro, now it's a few games that he's going to be missing. So I think it's tough in that regard. Second one, I agree with you though, right? It's like me and Cam were talking about. At the end of the day, one game at a time, never get too high, never get too low. We also have to take that into account in games like today. Like, it's not the end of the world. The season isn't over.
I'm telling you, draws nowadays be annoying as hell, bro. Listen, I still listen. As much as some fans, it depends how you see Man United, but I remember, bro, I didn't want to watch. I did not want to watch this sport, bro. I did not want to watch this sport. So a draw, disappointing. But as Saeed says there, one of them ones, man, you just got to move and you got to bounce back. And that's what it is. So far, we've been quite good under Ten Hag in terms of bouncing back from disappointing results. So we've just got to continue to do the same. But I want to have momentum going into the Newcastle final, man. I want to have momentum going into that. I don't want to be limping into that. You know what I mean? So take some positives out of the game, Sancho. And then just dust it down, Rashford scoring again. And just dust it down. And obviously the character to come back. But Disappointing.
I'll tell you this. For me, the biggest positive out of this game is that it can't get any worse than today, in my opinion. Like, there's no way we can go to Ellen Road, in my opinion, and play worse than we did today. So that's the positive for me.
Don't be surprised. Yes, you can. You definitely can.
Yeah, I might have just stitched myself up right there. I can't lie. But I expect this United and Eric Ten Hag to be better next game. I do expect that. Messi 2Y with a super chat says Casse is stretched. Pick up bookings and injuries soon.
Yep.
Dash says we really missed Anthony. Track back and provides the balance on the right.
Yeah, he's very easy. That's the one thing I'll give Anthony. Very tenacious defensively.
Yeah.
Very tenacious.
Yeah. Tricks as well says 1K in here, not even 200 legs. Run it up, guys. Yo, smash the like button. We're still going. We're not going to be leaving the stream anytime soon, but hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Go check out the FTBL culture from earlier that Cam dropped. All of that good stuff. There's a lot of good content on this channel, so don't just be a visitor, guys. Stay around. We got a lot of good stuff coming your way. We'll go back to the super chat here. It says Sandeep HG is dead. Bruno, one day he is Portuguese, another day he's Bangladesh. No comment. And then also Ankara Messi here says Barcelona's defense has been very strong this season. It absolutely has. Barca has one of the best defenses in the in Europe this season, especially since they've been eliminated from the Champions League. When everyone is fit for them, they're a great team, period. And that's going to be a very difficult tie. Anyone else you really want to speak on this game, Cam? Any other topics you want to talk about? I know we can briefly speak about Qatar later in the show if we're done with this game, but any last thoughts?
Not too much, man. Not too much. I ain't really got. As I said, listen, you just got to try to take the positives away from it, and you just got to bounce back. That's all it is. You got to bounce back. Please, I don't want to see Weghorst starting. I'm sorry, I just don't. People, I don't care if people I say I have an agenda against an average player. I don't actually care. So I just don't want to see him starting again. That's all.
So what are we saying for this weekend then? Front three of Sancho on the left, Rashford up front, Anthony on the right, a fit.
Please. That's what I would want. You just don't let me, bro.
For me, though, it's the midfield that's really spooking the hell out of me. And in fact, Cam, actually, I wanted to ask you one thing. This Lindelof DM experiment that we've seen of late had a few decent touches. I saw you say in the group chat. I just think, bro, I'm not saying Lindelof DM is the second coming of Christ, right? But can you look at that midfield trio of Bruno, Sabitzer, and Fred, and you think about balance? I think putting someone like Lindelof at DM while Casemiro is out, or even Lisandro at DM, might bring a little bit more control and defensive stability and balance and just better tempo of the game with someone like that. What do you think?
Wait, what? For who?
Lindelof at DM for one of Fred or Sabitzer, and then play like a 4-3-3 with one actual DM. While Casemiro is out. What are you saying?
I don't know, bro. That's all.
I don't know. I see Ten Hag bringing him in the last two games at DM, and I think based on what Ten Hag has shown me, he sees that as a viable solution, or at least he sees it as a viable alternative. Because I can't lie, bro. This trio that I just watched today spooks me. It spooks me, especially going to Ellen Road, where we think the atmosphere and the tempo of the game was fast today. It's gonna spook us this weekend, bro.
Hey, Ten Hag might have to try and go with one of these young players, boy. At this rate, he might have to go with one of these young players, but I don't think he's going to play no Lindelof DM to start. I don't think he's going to do that. But yo, Lindelof ain't the realest of men either. So
he's the fakest, but no comment on that.
Yo, you don't fill me with confidence, but I can't lie. A couple of his touches in DM today were quite decent, to be fair.
Okay, let's talk about outside of the game. Again, disappointing performance. We move. Let's talk about the recent rumors that reportedly an independent investor from Qatar is looking to purchase Manchester United. And if I'm correct, I think there are 10 days left for people to make bids for the club. We've heard about the main candidates. We've heard about Jim Radcliffe. We've heard about some American investors, some guys from Saudi. But Qatar are the latest guys to reportedly put their names in, according to the Daily Mail. Cam, give me your opinions on this.
Listen, it's needed, man. It's needed, and it seems to be coming from good sources. You know what I mean? Fabricio, I don't know what Fabricio's links to age to takeovers and stuff is, but He kind of confirmed it today. We've seen other journals confirm it. So listen, Man United need to get this takeover. You know what I mean? If obviously if it's Qatar, if it's these Middle East, you're gassed, you're excited, you're looking forward to the future. So I'm excited to see what happens, bro. And if it's within the next 10 days, let's see, man. I don't know how long it took for Todd Bowley to take over Chelsea, but it felt pretty quick. So who knows? By this time next month, we could have new ownership, bro. And all of a sudden, you're just looking at this season, but you're looking beyond. You're looking beyond. You're starting to think about the next season, the next season. So a lot of stuff has got to work for Man United to perform and get back to where we want to be. But new ownership is where it starts, bro. New ownership is where it starts. And I heard that Jim Ratcliffe dropped out or some shit like that. They said that he dropped out of the running. So let's see, man. I've said before, with how much Man United need to be bought for and how much work Man United need to be need done, you've got to be uber rich to take over Man United. Uber rich, and you've got to be kind of reckless with your money because Man United is not just a 6 billion takeover. With what we need to do, it's like 10 billion, bro. You're throwing like 10 billion at Man United. So the debt, the 500 million debt, Old Trafford, signings, the training ground, all that, it's like 10 billion. It's like 10 billion. So Middle East.
Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Kuwait. We ain't picky over here, man. Come through. Yo, check the private chat that I sent you, by the way. But yeah, we'll see if that goes through. I've heard some concerns that potentially the league or the Premier League or the FA wouldn't be willing to let this kind of takeover come through, right? Because
privately,
because of, I mean, you saw what happened with Newcastle, right? A, there's the human rights issues that of course they were looking into, but B, is a move like that healthy for the league going forward? And obviously that went through. But look, I'm of the belief, right, that Manchester United being successful and Manchester United returning to the top of not just English football, but European football and competing on all fronts and having the best players in the world is only beneficial for the Premier League, especially financially. I think you look at how much the league has grown in the last 10 years while Man United have been as garbage as they are. Just imagine how much more it could grow if the biggest team in the country and one of the biggest in the world returns to being a traditional powerhouse in football. And I just think, bro, imagine United on one side with Mbappe and the best players in one corner, City with their Galacticos on their team. And you got Manchester derbies are now the new El Clasico. You got billions of people watching that game every single season. That's great news for the Premier League. But at the same time, I hear the flip side. Any way this goes forward, man, I think United are flying, bro, because I'm with you. I'm of the opinion that United with serious backing and with serious, ambitious owners, go stop him, man. Go stop him.
People have just got to be careful with these discussions. And that's why I didn't get involved in any of the talks about the Saudis. I didn't get involved with anything with the World Cup, all this type of stuff. People have got to be careful with how they speak about these things because a lot of times it's starting to come across quite xenophobic, you know what I mean? So I just stay away from all of that, you know what I mean? Like, the rights and this and that and this. It just seems like anything Middle East, they're going to start saying, oh, it needs to be investigated. But then American comes along, is perfectly fine. People just got to be very careful with those discussions. So I just stay away from it, man. I just stay away from it. If the Premier League want to do their stringent testing, they should have done it for the Glazers. Flipping out, these guys committed a crime taking over Manchester United. They committed a crime taking over this guy. I didn't see no stringent testing. I mean, you only started talking about Roman Abramovich when this war happened. The guy was in charge for 20-something years. All of a sudden, that's when you start talking about it. Seems very, do you know what I mean? Just seems very interesting. So I must stay away from those discussions, but
100%.
Bring in the money.
That makes sense, bro. Getting your PR back. This is the perfect time to do it. I'm with you 100%. Olu says United will get angle slammed at Ellen Road. That sounds crazy. I can't lie. Mo16 says Ten Hag. Oh, this is parts of the Ten Hag presser, I guess. Eric Ten Hag says Rashford in the middle of the next game. We will analyze this game first, then see how the team is doing and choose the 11. Analyze hype, bro. Drop Weghorst. If Martial ain't fit, Rashford up front, bro. There ain't shit to now analyze, bro. Proofs in the pudding, like you say, bro. Come on.
bro.
That's stat of 1 win
Hey.
in 6 since he started. Get the hell out of here, man.
Analyze hype, man. Allow me, man. Allow me, Ten Hag, bro. Allow me.
Yeah, don't you gotta be cute in these interviews. Ten Hag, mixed feelings. Of course, at the end of the day, we were happy to win a point, but we lost 2 points. Very bad start to the game. Unacceptable in a derby. Yeah, guys, keep sending us the quotes. I know I missed a few of them earlier, but let us see the other ones. Were you, man, watching these games that aren't live? Oh, I'm gonna let y'all disclose that kind of stuff. No comment. Yeah, guys, keep sending us the quotes because outside of that, we ain't got too much to talk about outside of the game that we just got finished watching. Get it to 100 likes, guys. We ain't even at 100. Come on, surely not.
Poor from the people.
That's poor, bro. What the hell? I'll tell you right now. All right, 225. Let's get that to 300, bro. Get it to 300. We'll stay for 15 more minutes. No comment. No comment.
Road to 20K. Road to 20K.
Yeah, road to 20K. All right, you guys are leaving it up to me to go find these 10 high quotes then, I guess. Say no more.
Yo, people were burning with that Salah clip today, innit? Flip it.
All publicity is bad. All publicity is good publicity, bro.
They were crying.
Ten Hag, I'm very happy for Sancho. He's on the right path, and he continues on this path. He can do even more to help us achieve our goals. Did the quick start surprise the players? Ten Hag says it looked like it, but not me. They will go aggressive, front foot against the team on a good run. They'll try to get into duels, and that's what they did. Uh-oh. PSG got eliminated from the French Cup today. Hey, boys, we're going to talk about Champions League this weekend and next week, but it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. No Mbappe. PSG been hitting the ruts since the World Cup. It ain't looking good for
I told you, bro. I told you. Messi and Neymar, at club level, they ain't lifting that, man.
Oh, my God. I thought Messi had done enough in your eyes to, like, be away from the slander, bro.
Of course. Listen, Messi's the goal. It's all good, but I've told you time and time again, Mbappe is the one. He's the one for PSG. You keep trying to throw in Neymar's and that. Allow it.
Okay, Neymar, fine. Messi has the most goal contributions in Europe this year, bro. How can you say he's not doing it at club level? I hope y'all are seeing what I'm watching right now. This guy will pretend during the entire World Cup, I want Messi to win. My prediction came right. I always believed in him. The true colors always come out, guys. Just never forget that. Unbelievable.
Bro, I just call it how I see it.
All right, guys. Honestly, this may be the end of the stream. I can't lie, just because don't seem like there's too many quotes, and obviously there's only the game to talk about. We should be back. Well, I'll be back on Friday. I'll have one of those solo streams again. I know you guys really like that. Keep dropping your suggestions in my DMs. Keep asking to be mods if you're interested in doing that. Keep doing that. We'll be back on Friday for that. FTBL culture, FTBL, stoppage time. That'll be back on Sunday. Next week, you got more content. Champions League and Europa League is on the way back. So you guys don't want to miss the kind of content that we got coming on this channel. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. LeBron.
I stayed up for all of that. I witnessed history. I had goosebumps. That's my goal.
Tired as hell right now.
That's the one person I need to meet in this life. LeBron. When I meet him, I'm retiring. Good run.
What about that?
Meet him soon.
You see the trade rumors? There's trade rumors according to Shams and Woj that Utah, Minnesota, and Lakers are involved in a three-way trade that would send D'Angelo Russell back to the Lakers, Mike Conley to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz, with a few picks obviously going back and forth. What you saying about that?
All of that.
Your boy's going out sad, bro. Your boy's going out real sad these last few years.
All of that sucked. Russ at the Utah, the ops as well. Utah been ops to Russ. You know what I mean? Then you got D'Angelo Russell. He's mid now. Conley mid. Hey, that's a trade. 3 packs of ass, man. 3 packs.
Why are you deflecting though, bro? I asked you about your boy. I didn't ask you your thoughts on the trade.
Who'd you ask me about?
Your boy, Russ.
Yeah, bro.
Do the chat not know that you're a diehard day one Russ fan?
I'm not a diehard Russ fan, mate. But it's Russ is my boy. But you gotta be realistic. It didn't work out in LA. he's not going to probably win a chip. And
It ain't worked. It ain't worked out in a lot of places recently, boy. It ain't worked out. It ain't worked out in a lot of places.
Hey, it is what it is, man. He'll go down as a Hall of Fame man. He just got to take that, man. But Russ, real nigga, man.
We're good. We're good. Hey, guys, we're going to end it here. Like I said, we got all this content coming up, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you smash the like button. Keep sharing this kind of stuff with your friends. If anyone's interested in football, tell them FTBL is the place to go, man. Go hang out with Lies, with Cam, Fuad, and the boys, Maze. With that being said, this has been FTBL United State of Mind. Catch you next time.
Go watch FTBL Culture. Go watch FTBL Culture.
If you haven't already, go watch FTBL Culture. Biggest flops in the league this season.
Go see all the people crying about Salah, and then wait until the weekend. They're going to start saying, oh, Salah, Salah, Salah. They don't like the messenger. That's what it is. They shoot the messenger too much. I'm just here saying what everyone thinks, and they shoot me.
Peace.